this is the galvanic system, the Agelock edition of the galvanic spa system. You'll see 4 heads there. The new Agelock head, the spot conductor head, the body contact, the body head, and the hair treatment. Now, for those of you who are new, let me just review very quickly what you do just for a general facial treatment. You use the pre-treatment gel. And you'll notice this little graphic down at the bottom. What does that read? Agelock Galvanic Spa System 2, setting 1. That's the head you need right there. You're set to go. That will be printed on the package. So you look at the package, and you just make the instrument do what's on the package, and you're set to go. You don't have to worry about what's what and which charge and all that stuff, as in the past. The treatment gel, you notice that has a setting 2. Same head is being used. Now, how does this work? In the pre-treatment, a little more detail, the active ingredient in there is the cocoyl glutamate. It's a very gentle, purifying cleanser. It's so gentle that the purified, 100% concentrated ingredient can be rubbed on the bottom of a baby and there'll be no irritation. But it's a marvelous ingredient because it has a negative charge. And with the assistance of galvanic, we can bring that to the skin and have it go in and capture the impurities. The second step on the right is the treatment. So after the pre-treat, 2 minutes, you wash that off. You follow the instructions, you set it to 2 on the instrument. You put the treatment gel on, and this is what's happening. On the right side of that slide, you'll see that the positively charged ingredients in the treatment are being assisted to the skin. And in this case, those 2 ingredients are arginine and magnesium. They provide energy support for the skin. And those of you who have used the galvanic spa system, you'll notice that your skin is brighter and energized, and it's got that, like you woke up in the morning and washed your face and you just look good. It doesn't look like Friday night at 7 o'clock after work. That's what's happening here. Now, they made a couple of great animations. Us scientists, we get all this technical stuff, and we worry about communicating to you. And we keep saying, we really like some graphics, cartoons, and animations. Can you please make some? And they made a couple of good ones. Here, you can see the Agelock Galvanic Spa System as it brings the pre-treatment gel to the skin, and that surface of the galvanic spa instrument is negatively charged, and it's chasing that active ingredient to the skin. It's going down to capture the impurities. So the negative is pushing the negative to the skin. There you can see the little icon, the cleanser, the dirt that it's going after. Now, as we go to the treatment step, just the reverse is happening. We've got the surface of the instrument positively charged, and it's moving the positively charged ingredient into the skin. What they didn't show there is another little trick that we learned, which was very important. And that is in that treatment step, that positively charged instrument surface is pulling out any residual negative charges because opposites attract. So anything from the pre-treat, any minute amount that's left over is being assisted back out of the skin. And that's why we find this to be such a gentle system, but so efficacious. Now, the Agelock facial conductor. Why did we do this? Well, let me tell you a little story about how this happens in the science world. You can't always do what you'd really like to do. We were investigating Agelock ingredients. And one of the best ingredients we found was stubborn. That's my polite public way of saying it. If we could get it to the site in the skin, it would be beneficial, tremendously beneficial, but it didn't want to move under the electrical field. So we had to get clever. We said, okay, we'll formulate such that we get this to a point where it will have the charge we want, the positive charge, and now we can get it to the skin. And I'll show you how we actually did that. And then we said, now with this Agelock edition, you know what? The previous version was out, and that was working really well, but we can do better. The scientists said, look, all we got to do is get more of that product within that electrical field. And as you see here, 5 times. And this is how we did it. This is how we can tell you that we get 5 times more of the gel, the treatment gel, underneath that conductor underneath that facial head. And that gives us much more efficient delivery of that stubborn ingredient. And so how do we know it's 5 times? Well, here's an easy way. Take some modeling clay, you press it in it with the same pressure that you put on your skin. You cut around it, you trim it off. You do the same thing with the previous facial conductor. You roll them up in a little ball, and look, the new one's 5 times greater than the other one. Underneath that electrical field, you've got 5 times more of the ageLOC ingredient system being presented to the skin under that electrical push. 5 times more ageLOC ingredients to the skin. That's how, instead of chasing it around, we trap it right underneath that head. Now, this is what's happening. Those positive ingredients in those grooves are trapped in that electrical field, and they've got no place to go but to your skin. And that's the way we get the maximum benefit out of that very beneficial but stubborn to deliver ingredient. We filed a patent on that head. So that's 5 now I'm up to. Well, can you just do your face? No. You can do body shaping gel. Is this complicated? No. You find the 4 on the galvanic instrument, you're set to go. You touch it to your face, the instrument does all the rest. So how do you use body shaping gel? Look on the package. It says 5. It tells you the head shape. You find the head, you snap it on. You press the button on the galvanic instrument until you see 5. Put the body shaping gel where you want it. Touch it to your skin. The instrument does the rest. It'll beep every 10 seconds. When it gets close to the end, it'll beep every 5 seconds. And then it has a characteristic beep, 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 beep at the end to tell you it's done. You can do the same thing with the galvanic spa system to a Nutriol Hair Fitness. You notice this has a number 5 setting. And there's the little hair comb symbol on the right telling you to use that conductor head. Very simple, same approach. How about spot treatment? This was an interesting project to work on. We had True Face line corrector with a peptide. And this peptide is working at this genomic level. That little piece of peptide is the end of collagen. And when Joe mentioned these enzymes that break down, these collagenases, we call them matrix metalloproteinases, a big name. But they're always destroying, otherwise we would continue to grow and our heads would be as big as Joe's, was in that picture. There's enzymes in there turning things over. They're chewing it up. And when they chew up the collagen, they knock off a piece on the end, and that little piece is a signal. That piece goes back to cells and says, hey, we just destroyed some collagen. Would you please make more to replace it? That's what's in here. That little signal is in this product. Interestingly, it has a positive charge. So we said, hey, we got this thing in Dale's drawer over here. Why don't we see if we can assist the delivery of this peptide and see if we get increased efficacy. And what do you think? So now you have a choice. Do you use True Face line corrector by itself, or do you deliver it with a galvanic instrument with the spot conductor? This is the better way to go. Then we noticed something very interesting. I had worked in the medical side of things, and the work we were doing showed something very interesting. It showed us that after a galvanic spot treatment, the skin is made more receptive. The condition persists, even for subsequently applied active ingredients and products. So you say, great, how did you know that? Well, I'm a technical guy and you came to the product session, so here you go. This is a galvanically charged Fran cell. See the 2 wires going around? They're going into either our galvanic spa system or they're going into a phoreser unit, a clinical laboratory equivalent, a big box equivalent. More buttons and dials on it. Here's a close-up. This Fran cell looks complicated, very easy. See that little green slot in the middle? That little piece? That's living human skin. And it's clamped between 2 environments. The top environment, the buffer reservoir, has the active or the product. And the one underneath that green layer is where, if anything shows up, we know that ingredient or product is getting to the skin. So we just take a little sample down there. And of course, you saw previously that we've got these electrical wires, one to the top and one to the bottom, just like the galvanic spa instrument. So we did this. There's what they look like. There's a bank of 6, another 6 behind it. These are in the laboratory.